Imitation, the cornerstone of life and civilization's birth and development. Let's imagine together the prehistoric era of humanity 2.5 million years ago. At that time, our ancestors' brain size was similar to that of their close relative, the chimpanzee, only one-third the size of modern humans. Their claws were not as powerful as a tiger's, nor were they as fast as a cheetah, and their vision was not as sharp as an eagle's. From any perspective, they were not nature's favorites. So, what skills did ancient humans rely on to stand out from all other creatures and eventually evolve? The answer is imitation. To illustrate the importance of imitation, let's take the example of fire-making, which significantly improved human life during ancient hunting times. Fire could cook animals, preserve food longer, make it healthier and easier to digest, and make predators afraid, providing a safer living environment for humans. The act of starting a fire may have originated from a forest fire caused by lightning. Later, a prehistoric human may have accidentally ignited wood and learned the skill of fire-making. After successfully starting a fire, could they do it again? Who would light the fire after the person who knew how to do it died? This is where ancient humans with the ability to imitate stood at the center stage of human evolution. They did not create the skill of fire-making, but they could accurately imitate the specific behavior of fire-making, allowing them to do it themselves. Thus, with human migration, the spark of fire was carried from one place to another, from one group to another, sounding the horn of human evolution. Here, fire-making is a cultural gene, also known as a meme. The act of imitation spread not only this cultural gene but also many other survival experiences that ancient humans gained through accidental knowledge, such as new hunting techniques, new methods of carrying and cooking food, etc. Through imitation, each new generation learned from the previous generation's experience and created more effective skills and techniques based on that experience. In this iterative upgrade of generation after generation, humans and their close relatives, chimpanzees, went their separate ways and embarked on completely different evolutionary paths. The imitation of ancient humans built the cornerstone of our human civilization. Memes created humans. In daily life, we usually look down on imitation and belittle it as shanzhai, copycat. However, psychological research shows that imitation is the most essential manifestation of learning ability, requiring a lot of brainpower to participate. In the animal world, only a few animals have the ability to imitate, such as birds imitating songs, and whales and dolphins imitating sounds and behaviors. However, animal imitation is not as flexible and adaptable as human imitation, which is an instinctive expression rather than a problem-solving tool in new environments. In a psychological study in the United States comparing chimpanzees and human children, only human children could solve problems through imitation. What is the relationship between the ability to imitate and brainpower? The answer is that the larger the brain capacity, the stronger the brainpower, and the stronger the ability to imitate. Those with high imitation ability can bring more benefits to the tribe, so they will gain higher social status and resources and are more likely to be favored by the opposite sex. Therefore, those with high brain capacity and strong imitation ability have a higher probability of producing more offspring. Their big-headed genes win in selection. You should remember that in the lecture on the big head problem, I mentioned that in 200 to 300 years, the human brain volume has tripled. The evolution of this organ is a unique evolutionary miracle in the history of life. As the human brain grew larger, intelligence also increased. This change was brought about by genes, but the selection of genes no longer came from nature but from human needs for meme transmission. In other words, for humans, genes and memes co-evolved to form today's humans. Memes created language. The hypothesis of memes also allows us to make a reasonable guess about the origin of human language. Language was created to better spread memes and our cultural information because it is the best carrier of transmission. Currently, there are a total of 5,561 languages in the world, but all of these languages have completely consistent deep grammar rules and evolved from the same language prototype. This is because the function of language when it first appeared was to spread memes. Like genes, the transmission of memes requires three conditions: high reproductive capacity, high fidelity, and longevity. High reproductive capacity means that a meme can quickly spread to others and become the object of imitation. For example, if we write a beautiful poem, if it does not have an efficient dissemination channel, it will eventually disappear. High fidelity means that imitation cannot be deformed but must faithfully and accurately replicate the original meme. Longevity means that memes cannot easily disappear due to accidental factors such as disasters and human death. Language has incomparable advantages in improving the reproductive capacity, fidelity, and longevity of memes. A phrase like "be careful" can obviously make more people around you aware of danger than a gesture, and it can spread more quickly. Written language can even transmit information thousands of miles away. Therefore, language can improve the reproductive capacity of memes. The units of speech pronunciation and independent words and vocabulary in language are equivalent to digitalizing information, improving the fidelity of memes. The recording of text allows the creator of memes to be understood by future generations even after death. Therefore, language improves the longevity of memes. It is precisely because language has the advantage of spreading memes that those who are good at using language have gradually been selected in the process of human evolution. Anthropologists studying the Agta people, primitive tribes in the Philippines, found that those who were articulate and good at storytelling could better unite and coalesce tribe members, thus having more resources and offspring. At the same time, genes that allow for more precise pronunciation and expression have also been selected. In the expanding brain, the language processing area gradually developed, forming our modern language.